Hello, my name is Carlos Balan Coxolis. I am the Associate VP for Technology Innovation at a large higher ed institution. Today, I'm happy to announce that I am introducing a new series called Power Platform in Higher Ed. And throughout this series, I am going to be introducing you to some of the applications I have built with Power Apps and Power Platform to help me with my work and in my classes, the classes I'm teaching at the university. In today's episode, I want to share with you something relatively simple. I do use an app, a Power App that I created to help me approve submissions that my students make as part of their assignments in my course. So I wanted to have something on the home screen of the app that would show me a little notification bell or something with a bubble telling me how many assignments I had to grade. So let's get ready to get on with this journey. But first, here is my intro. All right. So here's a view of the actual app that I use. It's a larger app that involves gamification. And you can see here what I had built. It's basically a notebook, which is the grade book. And it tells me there are two assignments that I need to go ahead and grade. I have obscured the students' names, obviously, for privacy reasons. But they can see their scores next to their tiles, and they can also see how they're performing against each other in this graph. Students click on this button, and it takes them to their development journey. So this is my name, so that's not a big deal. But anytime they are ready to submit a new piece of evidence, they basically click there, and then they write up something like, so the students submit their evidence through this section, so the points that they're going to get, and they add it to their progress report. So when they come back, they can see here the different things that they have submitted, but they notice that timestamp here has not been approved yet. And if there's a note from me, they will be able to click on that. You notice that the bubble has now 3. So let's take a look at how I did this particular piece. So here's a dummy app that I created for this. So it makes it a little bit simpler to explain. This is a home screen, and I can click here to go look at their assignments. It loads the assignments. And yes, there are flags on things that have not been approved. And then there are the ones that have been approved. But you can imagine that this could be a large number to go through. So I would need to allocate the proper amount of time. How I built this is relatively simple. I built a SharePoint list, which is my data source for this project, and it has the achievement, whether or not it has been approved, the number of points, and the student that submitted it. For this demo, I went the easy way, and I initially created an app through the wizard builder, and then I customized it a little bit just to show you how things are. So notice that the name of this data source is student achievements. So here's the app, and what I would like to do is to add that initial bell at the home screen. So here you go, assignments, and what I'm going to do is something relatively simple. I'm going to go to my insert, and I look for bell, and I find the bell icon, and I'm going to drop it here. There it is. So I'm going to change the color, and I'm gonna make it gold. All right. Now, I would have liked for it to be completely gold, but I'm going to do a couple of things. I've grown to be a fan of containers. So I'm going to put the bell in a container. I'm going to drag this container down here. And given that the bell right now is 64 by 64, I'll make it 50 by 50. I'll turn it a little bit. 25. There we go. I'm going to make this container to be 65 by 65. I'm going to fill it. And I'm going to make it round. Since it's 65 by 65, I'm going to make its border radius 65. Okay, so I have filled it with maroon. I'm going to give it an edge of 2. And I'm going to make that edge gold. And now I'm going to copy the bell inside of the container. All right, it needs a little bit of repositioning. And it can probably be a little bit small, but we're going to leave it alone like it is. So there. Let's select the container again. And let's place it right here. So right now we have a bell and we want to set up a counter for the number of notifications or the number of things that we need to grade. For that, I'm going to again use another container. I'm going to move it. And this one I want a lot smaller. So I'm going to make this one 35 by 35. I want to fill that one with red. Maybe a little bit darker red, like that. And I do want to give it a black outline and a border radius. I'm going to make 35 too. So I'm going to sit this right over here. And inside of that container, I want to add a text label. So there's a container, the text label. Obviously, the text needs to be a lot smaller. I'm going to do 10 to start out with. So if we just do a number, any number to figure out where things are being placed, we can see this here and we can center it. We can make it bold. And we can make it, again, highly visible. That'd be yellow. There you go. So how do we make that text actually show the number of unapproved submissions? We're going to take the label itself. So we need to know here, down here, that is the label that we're looking at. We can also tell from our preview that this is the label we're looking at. How do we determine what the actual number of submissions that need to be graded is? So we're going to use a countif function. And in the countin function, we will look at the data source, which is our student achievements. And we're going to find only those rows that the status is set to false. And we see here that that is 6. And just for demonstration purposes, or because we can use this in more than one place, I'm going to highlight this whole group of things. I'm going to make a group of them, and then I'm going to copy them. I'm going to take them to my browse screen, and I'm going to paste it here. And I can take that whole group and hang it somewhere here. So let's see this at work. I'm going to go to my home screen, and on the app, let's assume I am using something like an iPhone 11. So that's the way it would look for me. When I go to my assignments, I see that indeed there are 6 assignments that need grading. So I'm going to look, for example, at the home screen wireframe from Maria. She has submitted this. This is her home screen wireframe. So I can use this toggle to approve it. And you can see here that the status is set to false. But because I like her submission, I set it to true, which also means that down here, my submission count or shows 5. Let's take a closer look. There you can see the 5. So in the next episode, I will be coming back to this particular little feature, and I'm going to show you how I solve the next piece of this puzzle, which is how do I hide this when there are no announcements? So stay tuned. I hope you enjoyed. And if you liked it, subscribe to this channel.